Hey everyone, welcome back. Thank you as always for joining us. This is Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs, joined as always by my co-host Andrew Don't Get It Twisted Lapache, and this is the Mad Boxing Show, or Mad Boxing for short. Thank you as always and once more for joining us on this beautiful Memorial Day weekend. For those of you who celebrated and barbecued and did something on this long extended holiday weekend, I went out to grab my mail today and completely forgot that there is no mail today because it's holidays and everything's fucking closed. So completely forgot about that because I actually happen to already be off on Mondays. So no different for me. I already have my regular 3-day weekends because I do work 4/10s in my regular job. So nothing special for me, but for everybody else, for sure, with their barbecuing and carne asadas and whatever else people do on their Memorial Day weekends, beach days or lake days or whatever the hell. I hope y'all enjoyed your weekend because it's coming to an end. Today is Monday. Tomorrow's back to work, y'all. So get your ass back sleeping at a good hour so you can get your ass back up tomorrow morning to go back to work. In addition to being Memorial Day weekend, there wasn't a lot of fights this weekend. There wasn't a lot of news. But as always, we like to scour the internet to see what news we can bring to you guys so we can talk about, because there was some news, just not a lot. And of course, not really much as far as boxing action. It's a relatively slow fight. There was not even a UFC card this weekend. So it was a relatively slow weekend. But as I mentioned, there were some announcements that we're going to talk about. Everything from Oscar De La Hoya apparently thinking they could just call the shots, saying they're not really interested in the Haney and Ryan rematch, even though Ryan was the one that fucking lost. From that to yet another undercard bout on the Jake Paul and Chavez Jr. card happening in later, roughly about a month or so next month in Anaheim, California. But another undercard bout added to that. Amongst other things, of course, things that we hear in between fights. We're definitely going to be talking about that. Possibly, Canelo spilling the beans on the location of his fight with Crawford, but we will get to that momentarily. Before we get into all of that news, Andrew, what's happening, dude? How is your Memorial Day weekend going?
Hey, what's up, Miguel? What's up, you guys? It was good. We had a wedding. We had Natalia's birthday. That's my youngest. So she got it to go out to eat twice. She got bowling. She got arcades. She got a drive. The only thing I didn't get her was a pool. And
Oh,
believe me, for a while it was the worst day ever. For just a little, dude, when you have kids, bro, that one thing. Don't let one thing fuck up, man. Yeah, so that was one thing I didn't get her the pool. But everything else happened, so we're good. We're home, everyone's safe, and yeah, it was a good weekend. And yes, you are right. I keep forgetting it's freaking Monday, dude. Sucks today. It'll be good tomorrow, though, right? When you go to work and you're already into Tuesday, that's always pretty cool. So
mhm.
at least we got that going for us tomorrow to all the blue collars.
Mm. That's the reason why I got this schedule. I was trying to get a different schedule. I like to work 4/10s, but it's just cool coming into work on a Tuesday and not a Monday, right? It's just, but it does suck on these certain type of days because really I'm already off Monday, so it isn't like it's anything special, frankly. But I do like coming into work on Tuesday, and it's like, all right, everybody else started with their week. I got a little bit of a shortcut and have a short week. But oh, speaking of pool, don't you guys like when you guys go to Reno and stay at a hotel or something? Aren't there pools there? You guys can't like use their pools or anything like that?
No, they now want you to buy a spa day. Circus don't have it. Silver Legacy does, but they want you to buy a spa day to go to the pool. And
What?
yeah,
You don't just get access to the pool because you're staying at the damn casino? I
we
mean,
were at Circus, and
oh,
Circus don't have one. They
ah,
send all their. It used to be that you could just go to Silver Legacy because it's all Caesars, right? Everything is Caesars. But they didn't, not anymore. Just like you got to pay for valet now.
mm.
The coffee's $10 fucking. It's everything now, bro. Um,
So what kind of pool are you? Was she talking about your daughter? I'm saying like an inflatable pool or some shit or what?
no, they wanted to go swimming.
Well, I
So
know, but like you have like a little inflatable pool you can toss in the backyard or something like that, and
we
pump
weren't home, Miguel.
I know. I'm just saying when you guys got back.
No, we weren't home. That's what she wanted to do up there. You know what I'm
Ah,
saying?
mm,
So no, they didn't have a pool this time. We had a pool last time. They had a pool when they went last time, but no, that we're at El Dorado. It's a
mm.
different casino.
Well, hopefully that didn't ruin the weekend entirely, because it's that one thing that they don't get right that now it becomes the worst weekend ever.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, it will. That will happen, dude. That will happen. You could give them everything and say no to ice cream. Say no to ice cream on the way home, and watch how that whole fucking shit just melts down.
just everything else is like, what have you done for me lately?
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
Mm,
Right. Bro, sometimes your kids will eat a dessert,
mm.
get home and ask for a treat, and you go, dude, what do you mean a treat? You just had dessert after dinner.
Uh,
Oh, man. Oh. It's like, oh, don't you start? Don't. Yeah, bro. Tears. Some of them give tears. Oh yeah.
like, that doesn't want to give me the ice cream. Like, we just had some fucking ice cream. God damn it!
Exactly, bro.
We
I'm
just
not
we
even
just had some
lying.
yo.
Not even lying.
Oh
Parents
man.
know.
Well, I do not know what that's like, but I do have nieces and nephews, and I have a general idea. Quite frankly, that's as far as I want to know. But that being said, um, as I mentioned, there wasn't a lot of fights this weekend, right? There was very few. Josh Taylor suffered his third loss in a row. I'm sure everybody here in the U.S. can give two fucks about Josh Taylor. I mean, it kind of sucks how bad he's fallen, going from being the number one 140 pounder and possibly fighting Terrence Crawford back then to three losses in a row. So
Can we
kind of
say?
much
Can we
fun.
say he's the perfect example of once you start talking retirement, they should probably stop calling you or start talking. Did I say start talking
Yeah.
retirement?
Start
Yeah,
talking. Yeah,
because he did it about 3 fights ago, and he has 3 losses in a row now.
damn.
I mean, I'm serious. I bet you if we go back 3 fights, he was talking about retirement on that time. I'm dead serious. Josh Taylor, this has not been a news story with him. Moving up, don't know if I'm moving up, staying here, didn't know who he's going to fight, right?
Hmm.
So he was already checked out mentally. Like another one of our junior welterweights over there in Fresno. He used to be from Fresno. I don't know where the hell they're saying he's from now, but Jose Ramirez, bro.
Hmm.
He's another Jose Ramirez. They won't leave him alone. And you know what? If you called me and said, "Hey, I got 500,000 if you want to come in and throw a few rounds," still got it. Guess what? I still got it. No, that's all that's happening. Leave Josh Taylor alone, man. The dude's done.
Yeah, apparently he is, and mind you, the fight was close. It was still unanimous decision, but three unanimous decision losses, or maybe one split decision. But regardless, unfortunately, he came out on the south end of a victory there, or a loss, I should say. And it happened this weekend for those of you who did catch it or not. But other news, of course, starting off with the fight that we're all anticipating, of course, later this summer or towards the end of summer, September 13th, Canelo taking on Terrence Crawford. Um, it has been said that, well, it was initially announced the fight was going to take place here in Vegas, right, at Legion Stadium. Everybody thought it was going to be there. And then some point later, for whatever reason, Turkey had a stick up his butt and said, you know what, fuck this. We might have it somewhere else. And he threw out like three other places: New York, Los Angeles, Vegas, some other places, and possibly even Saudi Arabia, although they never really officially said that. Well, that put a lot of doubt in our fans' head and said, well, where the hell is this fight going to take place anyway? Because apparently, according to what Turkey was saying, it might be somewhere else. Well, there was a video that surfaced, I believe it was either late last week, or earlier this week, where Canelo is being interviewed. I'm not sure if he's out like playing golf or something like that, but he's basically not in a boxing gym. And he was asked in Spanish about this fight. And they asked him, like, hey, so what's going on? Where's it going to be? Or what the hell, right? And he replies in Spanish. He's like, no, it's going to be Vegas. Like nonchalantly, very, very much like, no, as of right now, it's still happening in Vegas. It's still happening in Allegiant Stadium. So according to what Canelo, directly from the horse's mouth, he's saying, no, dude, the fight's still taking place in Vegas. So we don't know left from right at this point, we hear Turkey Al Sheikh saying it could be any number of places. He named supposedly 5. I believe it was Mike Coppinger who said, who reported as well. Again, he heard it directly from Turkey saying it might take place in 5 different locations, 3 of those being Vegas, New York, or Los Angeles. And now we're hearing it directly from Canelo saying, no, it's gonna be Vegas. What do you make of that, Andrew?
Canelo don't call the shots, right? Sorry, but he signed a contract. He's just gonna listen to whatever Turkey Ali Sheikh says. Ali Sheikh already had him in Saudi Arabia once, so it's not like Canelo told him, no, I'm gonna fight in Vegas at that time. So who knows, bro? We've heard the Allegiant Stadium thrown out there a few times. It always gets pulled back, right? It hasn't landed a fight yet. Until I hear His Excellency announce it, I take everything with a grain of salt. And I got to say, sometimes even with Turkey Ali Sheikh, you got to take what he says with a grain of salt, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's why, do we even believe him?
No. Let's just wait until the tickets are announced and we'll see where the venue is. But for just Canelo coming out and saying, no, it's going to be in Vegas, maybe that means that, maybe. But at the end of the day, it's wherever His Excellency wants. Look at the fights in September. I guess they're expecting it to be sold out, even though 70,000 might need to promote a little, right? So they got to announce it and start getting those ticket sales out there to see how, test the water, see if people, what they're going to be paying, or if they can even get 70,000 sold. That's a hard sell. 70,000 for Terrence Crawford. They're weighing heavy on the Mexicans to sell that place out, in my opinion. I just don't know if I'm not trying to be a dick, bro, but we know international travel is down, right? Right?
Yeah.
So we got to see if can Canelo pack this in, with the ticket prices that they're asking, or most likely going to be asking for, with the prices that these guys are fighting at. Going to need the diehards to be there. That's a lot of his own countrymen. So we'll see. We'll see. I do believe Terrence and him will have the front rows sold out. I ain't worried about that. If this was in a 20,000 seat venue, I'm not worried about it at all. High ticket sales. 70,000 seat venue? Come on. Boxing we don't really do that in America. We have a few fights where we were selling tickets. Like what was the great oh my gosh, his name just left me. Andre Ward's, rest in peace. Andre Ward's old guy. His old promoter, Guzin.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You went mute. You're on mute.
Oh, see, why the heck? Dang it.
You play with your microphone first.
All right. How about this? Am I back? No?
Nothing. All right. I'm going to hit my button to see if it's mine.
Again? I unplugged my mic and I plugged it back in.
See, we both did something. Hey, now my little icon is registering. Oh, look at that. The little icon now. All right, so there's something going on. Maybe it might be me, bro. Because now I remember that thing I was telling you was on the bottom of my screen blocking shit.
Yeah.
Now he's showing 55. He's showing like my volume went up. So whatever. Where was I? Oh, Guzin.
Oh, yeah, Guzin, yeah.
Like Guzin had to say, Miguel, we had to give those fucking tickets away. That's what he said. That's what he told us at the Andre Ward fight one time in Oakland. After they announced the attendance, he was like, we had to give those fucking tickets away. I was like, geez.
Who was he fighting? Remember who he was fighting?
Probably like Miranda or something like that. Edison Miranda. Yeah. Definitely not Terrence Crawford or one of the big fights. This is him on his way up.
Yeah.
This is him on his way up. But so yeah, I like it in Vegas. Vegas needs these fights, right?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you that. Like, what would be the better venue? I mean, like, if we're thinking, because if I remember correctly in the video, and Canelo is speaking Spanish in the video, he's saying, yeah, we already did one in Saudi Arabia, time to do it here. Almost saying like that was kind of maybe part of the deal, and without actually saying it, like, yeah, we did one in Saudi Arabia. We did what he wanted, Turkey Al Sheikh, I'm saying, and now we're going to do it here in Vegas, right? That's the way he kind of made it seem. So it seems pretty legit. At least if that's
Oh,
what
I'll
that's
tell you
true.
what it is.
Yeah.
You just gave it to me when you said what he said right there. When you translated what he said, you know what that means? We did one in Saudi Arabia. We didn't make a fucking dime out there, and now we're going to be asking him for $50 million. Yeah, we need to do this fight in America. That's exactly what that translated to. No, that's mostly. Come on, we know that we could know the pay-per-view didn't sell.
Mm.
We know the stadium didn't look packed. There wasn't they might have looked at their flight records and been like, bro, you didn't get anyone out here. Nobody came. Let's not try to do this with the $50 million price. And you guys, I don't know what their guaranteed purse is. I'm just throwing out big numbers.
Yeah.
They're
It's gonna
both
be big though, obviously.
exactly right. They're both the faces of boxing, but I don't want. Oh, it's gonna be 70 million. Man. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Maybe it is, but whatever that big price is, they need to kind of have a backup plan, right? They need to have some kind of not even a backup plan, a plan where the money's going to come in, right? You get some kind of money to come in if the pay-per-view doesn't do as good as they're hoping that it's going to do. You know, maybe, just maybe, nobody is Floyd Mayweather right now, right? Just maybe. We all like to say that, you know, this guy is and that guy is doing great sales and this guy, but nobody's breaking the 1 million pay-per-view buys like Mayweather did back to back, like fucking top 5 out of 10 or belong to him or some shit. So it could be that. But yeah, I believe with what you just said about him going, hey, we already did one in Saudi Arabia. Yeah.
Yeah. And then on top of that, like it was of fighting over there at 6 a.m. or whatever the hell it was, or 5 a.m. so we can get the fight over here at prime time. Like maybe he didn't like that shit, right? Maybe he didn't like having to fight that early in the day over there.
Yes.
And he said it himself. He had to go out there a couple of weeks. I think he said like 13 days or something like that, or 3 weeks or however, I forgot how much it was, but he basically was out there to get used to the time difference over there. And on top of that, it still was at 5 a.m. or whatever. So in addition to that, yeah, probably they were deep in the red because of the fight taking place over there, and then they're like, all right, fuck this. And mind you, we need that fights here, right? But let's just say it's not here. Let's say for the sake of argument, the Las Vegas wasn't an option, but rather the other two locations that they mentioned, New York or Los Angeles. Probably Los Angeles over New York. I mean, there's definitely a bigger Hispanic community there. I know there's some over here, but not Mexicans per se. More so in New York, Cubans and Puerto Ricans, not necessarily Mexicans. So between Los Angeles and New York, Los Angeles would still be the better deal, right? Because we don't know it's going to be in Vegas yet. But between those two, if Vegas wasn't an option, LA would win, I would assume.
Guaranteed. You know, we talked about this. I don't know if the boxing fan is really ready for the new Vegas, right? The money gouging stories that you hear that Las Vegas has become now, right?
Mm-hmm.
These tickets used to be high priced already. We already knew what we were getting ourselves into just on ticket sales. But you could get away with eating pizza slices down at the MGM Studio Walk, or getting by with that little fast food court thing they got going there, and but when you're hearing now that the pizza is $30 for the, or $50 for the pizza and the soda, not really getting away with that anymore. It's so we'll see how the boxing, how it reacts to what Vegas has become. I'm hearing no parking. You gotta pay for parking now, and the parking structures.
Oh, in Vegas here?
Yeah, the casinos.
Well, there are some. There are very few that still offer free parking, but by and large, the majority of them you have to pay. There are even some where if you're a local, the first 3 hours are free, something like that. It does vary. It does vary because they're not all the same. But for the majority of them, yeah, that's why there are times where I go to the MGM Grand and I don't fucking park there. I park across the street at some Hooters or something and just fucking walk my ass there. That's like the only way I can get around and do it. You know what I'm saying? And or hell, even Uber is still going to be probably cheaper. But yeah, a lot of places.
What is the price? Do you know the price that it costs to park at the MGM?
I don't. I know other places. $25. the Cosmopolitan, I want to say, and
Not
these are just
too
like
bad.
more. Yeah, it's not
It
over the top.
sucks. Yeah, it
Yeah,
sucks, but it's not too bad, right?
yeah, they're not; those aren't gouging the fuck out of you. But add that to everything else, then
Yeah.
it adds up, and you end up forking a lot more money than you anticipated. But yeah, it's not too bad, and that's, I remember right offhand specifically, it's a Cosmopolitan. As a matter of fact, I went to was it Steven Nelson and Pacheco fight there, and I had to pay for parking there, and that wasn't too bad. Again, that wasn't too bad. But the fact that we have to do that now, you know what I'm saying? There's been I went to the fucking, was it Caesar's Palace for one New Year's, and it was free, dude. I fucking parked there, and it was a pain in the ass because a lot of people did go there. And once the party was over, getting out of that parking
Oh
garage
yeah.
was a pain in the ass. I literally napped in my truck just fucking waiting, and it was cold as fuck. So I turned my shit on so I could be like, warm with the heater on. But anyway, point is, I didn't pay for shit there, and it was New Year's. This was, I think, 2021.
I used to be a dick and would love taking my cars all the way to the top because I felt like you'd get out of there easier, right? Learned real fast on fight night. Not a good idea to go all the way to the top. Doesn't matter how early you get there and get your little nice parking. When that bitch is over,
Mhm.
you're gonna be 2 hours, hour and a half, maybe coming
Yeah.
from the 7th floor trying to get out.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
You'd be
yeah.
better off just chilling at the fucking
Did,
speedway or a
did
sports.
that one time. Did that one time.
Never again, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's looking like might be here, Vegas. All right, cool.
Oh,
Now,
Miguel,
yes,
to answer your question, I get sidetracked sometimes, you
yeah,
guys. The selfish me wants to fight in Vegas for all the fight fans to be able to go to watch this thing. But we all know for the business decision is for that fight to go to Saudi Arabia, and let's see how many rich people will pack in this stadium to watch these two. Their arenas always seem small. I know they have bigger places, but if they had a smaller venue and just jack these prices up to see what the UK, the Middle East, Mexico, and America could bring to Riyadh,
mm,
right? So that's the selfish me that wants to see that part of this fight take place over there because this is the best of the best. And then I got to keep saying I don't think Terrence is going to have a problem getting the American elites to watch this fight. They will pay 20 grand. They will pay 50 grand, whatever the price is for those 2 rows. You're going to see people going after these tickets because we all know Terrence. Terrence brings it, and got to say, Canelo's last few performances, now all of a sudden there's like, well, maybe he does have a chance, right? We're all
mm.
falling into that trap. Could be ding ding, one body shot changes all of our opinions, but we're falling into that trap of, maybe Canelo's just doing it for the money and Terrence is here for legacy, like it's not the other way around.
Yeah, right, right. Like it's not, Terrence not taking a tune-up fight at 168 and going directly to Canelo, as if we didn't already fucking know what he was trying to fucking do.
They're
And,
just checking
and
his life.
yeah, ain't trying to risk shit, fucking rumor to fight Derevianchenko, but that one not the haywire real fast. Yeah, nobody is not like it's it's not like it's Canelo trying to get the Mayweather win back, and it's fucking Crawford looking for his retirement plan. It's not that at all, of course not. But on that note, there was a recent tweet by one Stephen Fulton Jr., which this is kind of the way we're talking about it right before. The way it made it look, mind you, this is just him implying because we're trying to connect the dots here. He posted this tweet, or I think it was Instagram post, talking about he tagged Jaron Ennis and then he put fighting Canelo. So now it's like, okay, what? And then the caption of that post said, was Stephen Fulton kind of low key trying to tell us that Jaron Ennis is helping Canelo in sparring, gave him a couple of sparring rounds, maybe in preparation for, a smaller, faster opponent in Terrence Crawford. We have seen a lot of videos surface recently, one of Jaron Ennis's brother sparring Canelo, and that appears to be a rather old video, so we're not entirely sure why it is now resurfacing and making the rounds as if it's some sort of new viral video. But it makes us think, it's like, oh shit, is that damn, the way Stephen Fulton made it seem, at least, he definitely made it seem as though it was Jaron Ennis who was in there giving him a couple of rounds. Well, that's not a bad idea, considering he's going to end up fighting. Jaron is a welterweight, probably at 154 in the near future, but a welterweight still, and has good style, has enough to help Canelo maybe get to and mind you, this is going to be a heavier Crawford, right? So he might not be as fast as he would have been otherwise at 147 or 154 for that matter. But that was kind of the little cryptic message. So now it makes making us all think like, oh, hold up, because mind you, it is also Ennis who was chasing Crawford at 147 for a hot minute before Crawford fucking just booked it. But do you think there's any truth to this? Do you think it may be Ennis is in there helping Canelo with a couple of sparring rounds to kind of get him used to somebody smaller and faster?
If it is, Canelo needs to stop the weight bullying bullshit. Like, seriously, you're going to pull up and try to fight a welterweight for sparring? Come on, man. You weigh 168. You're walking around heavier than that. Like, let's stop. I don't believe it. I don't think Canelo's sparring Ennis. Now, does the PBC put out fake news all the fucking time? So we'll sit here and talk about this and have Ennis's name out there and make him just a little bit more known than what he is right now? Yes, I believe the PBC does this type of shit all the time. So I don't know what to believe right now, but I don't think Canelo said, man, I need to go to Philadelphia and spar Boots Ennis for Terrence Crawford. And the last picture I seen of Crawford, he looked nowhere near a welterweight or junior middleweight. So I don't think his speed is going to be there. Unfortunately, Terrence didn't give us a fight to gauge his speed at this heavier weight. So I'm only going off the first picture. And yes, the muscle looks good. He had muscle mass on him, but anyone who knows boxing, right, knows that don't mean shit. That it's nothing. If anything, made him slower, So I don't, I'm seeing everything at Boots Ennis joining Team Canelo. Stop it. Like, we've seen multiple professional fighters try to go to Canelo's gym. Guess what? Canelo ain't got time for none of y'all. He really don't. He's telling Reynoso that. It's either me or them. And Reynoso has picked Canelo every fucking time. And that's not changing. I don't care if you're the heavyweight champ of the world. I don't care if you're a two-time lineal champ. I don't care if you're supposed to be the face of American boxing. Reynoso has kicked your ass out of the gym for his guy. And that's totally fine. But I don't want to hear that now he's taking on Ennis. Stop it. Like, Ennis is not any of the guys that I just named with the potential money that they were going to make for Reynoso, and he told them all to leave.
Yeah. No, that's understandable. I just figured maybe for the sake of, somebody smaller and I did notice that. I saw that photo of or a clip of Crawford. I mean, in order for guys to gain weight, especially when they're already pretty ripped, they have to take a bit of a page out of the textbook of bodybuilding. They have to eat in a surplus of calories. They have to start lifting, adding a little bit more mass on them. And that is going to slow them down. It has happened. We've seen it with Evander Holyfield, when he moved up from cruiserweight to from light heavyweight to cruiser, then cruiser to heavyweight, even Usyk. That's kind of what you have to do. I mean, granted, that's a little bit of a different story. We're talking about the heavier guys, but here, in order for him to bulk up, and I'm not even sure. Do you think he'll even make 168? And I'm saying like he'll be at that limit, or will he be at, let's say, 163 or some shit like that?
But the weight jump is the same, so you can compare what Crawford's doing to a cruiserweight jumping to heavyweight. It's just because the muscle mass is so much more that they need to grow. Look at how much they had to grow just to fight like Tyson Fury, right? Wilder had to try to put on muscle mass to come in that first time heavier to fight him, and Usyk tried it. So we've seen guys. There's no that you can compare. Crawford, because Crawford's jumping 2 weight divisions, man. That is so much weight he has to put on. Yes, the only way he could do that with being in tip-top shape is taking on the likes of a bodybuilder, how they do it to put on weight for themselves. And we've seen it done in boxing, and it's had the same results. So no, I don't expect Terrence Crawford to be faster when he gets in the ring with Canelo. Does that mean he's losing? No, it doesn't mean he's losing. Maybe his speed is just as fast as Canelo. Maybe they're the same. Like, we don't know what their speed looks like in the ring together until we see it, right? So it's a good fight. I'm gonna bring this around one more time. The selfish me wants this thing, and dude, if it was in LA, total sellout. Stop it, heartbeat. It's like at Dodger Stadium, fucking sold. Because you're talking the whole fucking California is driving up, right? You're not
Yeah.
just talking. What's bad about Vegas, Miguel, is the price now that Vegas brings. The rooms, the fucking eating, the parking, the gambling, like. Dude, you buy a fucking ticket, you can't even go see a knockoff. It seems like anymore, right? You're spending top dollars on top performers now in all these casinos. So it's the price that's scaring me. That Vegas is bringing now. That's scaring me for the average fan to go. You know what? I'm gonna drive to Las Vegas and buy $100 seat. Remember when you could do that? That was a plan back in the day. Now that $100 seat is gotten tremendously higher. So it's let's see what happens there. Is there even a $10 limit table in Las Vegas on the strip, or is it?
Your guess is as good as mine. I never played tables. I always play video poker. That's always been my thing. I never played tables. So, you're asking the wrong person. Oddly,
I'm seeing less and less of them in all casinos. I could only imagine. I haven't been in Vegas since 2015. I can only imagine. And they weren't there then. I can only imagine what they're asking on a fight night Saturday. What to fucking sit down and play? What, $50 minimums? $25 minimum.
No, that's understandable. So real quick, do you think Crawford comes in at 168, or you think it'll be like much lighter? Like I'm thinking like 165, 163, something like that. Do you think he'll come in? Because I think, who was it? I don't know if it was Pacquiao against dang it, was it Margarito? I forgot who the hell it was. But anyway, it wasn't that limit. He didn't come in at that weight limit. He came in a couple of pounds under. So do you think Crawford will try that instead of getting weighing in at 168 being the limit? Do you think he'll come in a little bit lighter, maybe to gain a little bit of speed?
It's a hard question. You would have to be in the training to see what he's looking like. Because I think if Terrence starts feeling himself getting too slow, too heavy, he's going to make that decision on his own to come under. But if everything's good, can you give up a pound going in against Canelo, right? Or do you want to be exactly what he is, and try to match power with power? That's all on that. I can't call that sitting in the dark, which I really feel like I'm sitting in the dark today. The lighting is just
like you're telling some sort of like campfire story with the light underneath your.
I really wanted to make it seem like I'm in a fucking gym with the lights off and there's only one light on. That's really what I was doing.
It is. It's like that, Rocky with the one light on, hitting the fucking punching bag.
You fucked up, right? You fucked up. Boys in the Hood. You remember Boys in the Hood?
I do remember that, but I mean, I saw that show a long ass time ago, yo.
Yeah.
One of those movies that you watched many times over?
Oh, when I was little, yeah.
Oh, so it's been a minute since you watched it, in other words.
Oh, hell yeah. Now you turn them on and shit's corny as fuck,
Yeah, they are. That's the thing you discover when you look back at those things.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's just the way they're dressed, they're talking, right? It just seems corny now.
It just seems like exaggerated and obnoxious by this point. All right. So, I don't think there's been a recent clapback Thursday for one Oscar, but he was asked recently about the possible Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney rematch, and asked him, I believe a media member asked him if he was still interested in making the fight. Like, what's the update on it? I gave him some sort of update. Is that the direction that they want to go? And he said no. He said flat out no. He's like, no, that's not the direction we don't want to go. And he just flat out said, like, no, not at all. He believes that Devin Haney's stock has dropped, even though he beat Ramirez and Ryan Garcia lost to Rolly Romero. Like, they could just call the shots. I mean, maybe they still can. Fuck, what the fuck do I know? But the way he made it seem, he's like, no, we're not going to go in that direction. The way it looked, the way Haney looked, and he called him a runner basically, and said, yeah, we're not interested in that one if that's the fight that we're gonna get. And I think when I heard that, I'm like, you know what? Either this dude thinks they can still call the shots, which maybe I'm wrong, maybe they can, or he realized, oh yeah, Ryan without the juice is not going to beat Haney. nah, let's not go that direction. Fuck it, let's go some other place. Even though that's a big money fight, right? Because that's what we're all looking forward to. But um, when we're hearing, that Turkey Al Sheikh calling in during a press conference, supposedly on the phone, saying, "Yeah, we're going to make that's the fight that we're going to look for." And then now, Oscar saying, that, yeah, we're not even interested in that fight anymore because of how Devin Haney's stock has plummeted because of the poor performance, even in winning that poor performance against Ramirez. What do you make of that? Like, do they kind of like, at least Oscar and his team said, "Oh shit, you know what? Ryan off the juice isn't the same. Let's completely avoid Devin."
That's what it translated to. That was what he was saying in so many words, right? Or not
Mm.
in so many words. Listen, the stock of both fighters is down, but the what is it? That fight got more appealing. The
Okay.
desire for that fight,
The interest.
the interest for that fight could not be any higher
Mm.
for us. All right, it's gonna be two-part though,
Okay.
because it's for us diehards. I don't know if the casual Joe that made that thing made Ryan's career a success. I don't know if they're as interested in it. So don't get carried away and put this thing as $100 pay-per-view because it might not sell, right?
Mm.
But I think the diehards, we're totally in for this. Dude, we get the fucking clown show before. Bill Haney is going to eat this fucking kid
Yeah.
alive.
Mhm.
Alive. Mark my words, Ryan Garcia might have a mental breakdown if they put him in the same room with Bill Haney in the next fucking 6 months. And that's what Oscar and them are talking about. They know he's mentally weak because he played weak before, just being Ryan. And now he has the steroid dirty thing test shitty performance on his head. His mental is fucked right now.
Mm.
Keep him away from Bill. It's not keep him away from Devin. It's
He's gonna
keep him
he's
away
gonna walk
from
into the press
Bill.
conferences with like those earmuffs where he's like, "No, I don't think I could hear a damn thing." Bill Haney has anything to say because he's gonna tear him up right now.
He's gonna tear him a new asshole, bro. It is not, man. Listen, Ryan fucked up, and all that bullshit talking he was doing about retiring Raleigh and acting all Joe cool like that. He was just there for business, and to go in and put in a performance like that and look so broken. Nah, man. They want to keep him the fuck away from the Haneys right now. They'll lose that fight before the bell ever rings. Ryan has some soul searching to do. Ryan needs to go back to the drawing board. They threw out some names. Damn it. They threw out a name for a comeback fight, and it wasn't really a bad name. It's missing me right now. Maybe it'll come back by the end of the show. But they're looking at some comeback fights, very easy showcase fights. And that's the route they have to go. They have to try to get Ryan's mental back. They got to make his fans think that his power is there again. And really, it's Ryan. Make Ryan think his power is there again because there's a lot of unknown with him. We don't know if he's really as special athlete as we thought he was. We don't know if he even has what it takes to be a champ. You know what I'm saying? Every time this guy gets in the position to win a belt, seems like the world just comes crumbling down from under him. Is it the world or is it Ryan Garcia? Maybe he doesn't like pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be that. So there's so much unknown with Ryan right now. They're back to the drawing board with him. He's in no way in any position to try to take a major fight on right now. No, it'd almost be disaster for them. It'd be mishandling by his management. So you got to give Oscar and them credit for trying to take the oh no, it's Devin. Fuck out of here. It's Dead. Did you see your guy's performance, bro? He's a laughing stock of boxing right now. He's a fucking meme. He's a fucking meme now. You know what I'm saying? Raleigh Romero turned that cat. And I love Raleigh. You see Raleigh still throwing his left hook on the phone? I love that kid, bro. Oh, did you see it? He's
Yeah,
on
no,
the
I didn't see
beach.
that. I
He's
saw
on
him
the
like posting the video, but I didn't see him throw the
Hey,
head
bro,
shots.
he's on the beach like on vacation. He's on
Yeah.
the beach. He's still throwing a left hook. He's thinking of the fight. You know it's the left hook that he landed on Ryan, bro. That's what he's thinking about when he's throwing it. He's not shadow boxing. He's still landing that punch. Down goes Ryan.
He's like reliving that moment, like he'll be in his sleep. Like
That's exactly what it looked like, bro. That's exactly.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Do you think? I mean, we did hear Turkey Al Sheikh say that that's the direction he wants to go with that rematch. If he says we're having this rematch, does Oscar crumble? Does it? Does he wilt? It's like, all right, I guess we're having the rematch then. I suppose.
If he wants to stay in business with His Excellency, yeah, I think Miguel. I don't want to be the guy that keeps singing the same song, but I think we've been saying it for all these middlemen are about to be asked to step out of the room if they don't step in line, right?
Hmm.
That's all that's going to happen here. He's the guy with the money. He's the guy that all the fighters seem to be Turkey Ali Sheikh, or we got to see what Turkey is going to do. Like you're hearing it more and more now, and it's only going to get worse for these middlemen. They're going to have to get in line. Oscar don't have any other options right now to go with Ryan. Now, if Ryan would have won, then yes, maybe he would have had other options to do something. Maybe have a little say in negotiating with His Excellency on his next fight. With him losing, no. And I think they excellently what Rihad wants, Rihad gets. We should make that a soundbite, bro, and just keep playing that over and over in these guys' heads.
Oh man, yeah. Wouldn't that be something? That's gonna be like we need. Yeah, we do need a soundbite for that. Just like what Riyadh, what Turkey wants, Turkey gets. All right. Would you say, like you mentioned, kind of like a couple of softballs at Ryan? Would a rematch with Raleigh be one of those, or is that too hard? Is that too fast of a fastball for him?
No, it should not be too hard.
No.
Come on. We all thought this was a fucking cakewalk. We thought it until the week of the fight. I got to say, the week of the fight, Ryan did not look like himself. I was very much questioning that dude's life decisions in the week of the fight. He just didn't look the same.
Right.
And so, but going into that, I mean, everybody was laughing at Raleigh. They made it seem like Raleigh didn't even belong on that stage. Like all the other guys had credentials, except and then when they would say Raleigh Romero, everyone kind of chuckled. All of a sudden, he's a two-time division champ with the win over one of the faces of boxing. Kind of just like jumped over everybody that was laughing at him on the stage, besides Teofimo. So no, Raleigh's legit. As far as making himself a two-time champ, 2 divisions, he's got his resume.
3 divisions, actually.
3 divisions. There you go.
35, 40, and 47. Because this is in that same little clip. Well, later on, because the clip is actually longer. But they asked him, all right, Oscar, what about a rematch? What's his name with Raleigh? He goes to say, that's exactly what I would do. That would be the right move for him. Go get revenge. All right. Well, that seems like a more plausible or more logical one. Does Romero come in the same way? Mind you, there's a lot of stuff that played a part outside of it. I'm even hearing excuses from the Ryan fan base in regards to the car that he was coming into and everything about it being in Times Square kind of thing. Well, that kind of threw him off or some bullshit. So basically, as far as excuses go, coming out of the woodwork, right? But that seems pretty plausible. It seems like we might actually get that rematch instead of Haney. I kind of feel bad for Haney. It's like he went out here and granted it wasn't the best performance, but he won, right? He did what he needed to do. He did his end of the bargain, and it was Ryan that dropped the ball. And now we don't have this, what could potentially be a multi-million-dollar fight. So Devin over here, if I was Devin, I think I'd go after fucking Raleigh at this point because Raleigh's the one that's got the momentum. He picked up the momentum, but if Oscar goes that direction, Devin's kind of out in the outhouse, right? He's the one that's looking in. We might get a Ryan and Raleigh rematch. That's at least it looks like that might be the direction they're wanting to go.
Devin does not want to make his career about the rematch versus Garcia. So with Garcia losing and making Devin Haney's argument about it being a dirty fight, validating that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Move on. Come back to that another day, right? Because I'm telling you guys, he got his manhood back the day Garcia went down. I'm telling you that. His confidence, I don't want to say manhood, that's probably fucked up, but his
like he got his balls back, y'all, that day. Like, all right, relax, tone it down.
Hey, for real, bro. He was like a hurt child before this fight, bro. And now everyone's like, damn, really? Was that dude dirty? He's like, I fucking told you guys.
He's like fucking crying like, I fucking told y'all. He was all fucking deuce, man.
He went to the gym different the next day, though. So I'm just saying, move on. We have some big fish in the welterweight division, right? We got Manny and Barrios coming back, right? The winner of that's going to be a very hot fighter. Even if Barrios wins, there's probably potential there with Turkey overpaying just for it. So keep your name in that mix, right? You know it probably wouldn't happen, but just throw it out there like the PBC does. Go after Teofimo. Kind of go after him on the social media. See how that stirs up. See if that goes viral. If people want to see that fight, that's a great, because everyone's saying he's waiting for Ennis, even though Ennis already has a fight, right?
No, he just fought. So I don't think so. Not yet, at least. Not. I don't think Ennis has a fight.
I thought Ennis was already gonna fight like the Brian Norman for the.
No,
he wasn't unifying or nothing like that.
No, not yet.
All right, so
that's why he was kind of on the fence of whether or not to go to 154, because Brian Norman Jr. is gonna either already fought in Japan or will be fighting in Japan. I forgot. I'll have to take the schedule, but I think he's got a title defense coming up somewhere else. And then, of course, Barrios is tied up with Manny. So
Devin
kind of on the fence.
Devin should look into that fight then. Whatever champions out there that's still good, just don't go after another. Who did he just fight? Fresno cat.
Ramirez.
Don't do another Ramirez fight. If you do another Ramirez fight, everyone's gonna say they're just cherry picking. He's got PTSD still.
When you say another Ramirez fight, you mean another opponent like Ramirez, or
exactly
fight again like he did against Ramirez?
No, don't fight another opponent like Ramirez.
Okay.
How Devin fought in the ring, dude, that's boxing, bro. And I don't mean as in that's boxing per se, the way that he fought. I'm saying that guys get in there and move. Trap him. Cut the ring off. Hit him in his hips. I'm sorry. Take a point. Hit him in his hip a few times so that motherfucker can't move anymore. Do something to stop him. Don't just chase him and go, oh, well, you want to fight. And everyone go, you want to fight. That ring is not that big. There are ways to corner a man if you really wanted to. Matter of fact, you might even get hurt doing it, right? Because you're going to walk through some fire trying to corner his ass. Maybe that's what he didn't want to do either. So I've been through the days of Hector Camacho. I've been through the days of Pernell Whitaker. I know guys move, and it's a thing of beauty. Even Floyd, get the fuck out of here. Floyd ran in the Jose Luis Castillo fight. He runs. Bro, he wants no part of that 12th round. Pernell Whitaker ran twice in the Chavez fight and in the De La Hoya fight. In the De La Hoya fight. Oh, and Mayweather does too in the De La Hoya fight. So we've seen this before of guys moving, knowing they're ahead on points, knowing they got a big fight coming up, don't want to risk this one right here. Stop it. I ain't mad at Devin Haney the way he fought. More put it on Ramirez and De La Hoya's shitty ass game plan. De La Hoya looking hella desperate lately, but we'll move on. Just desperate for the camera, saying whatever. First he says he's Canelo's friend, then he comes out and bashes the guy like a week later. You're either back on the fucking wagon or you fell off of the wagon, excuse me, or you're just desperate to put content out there and see if someone likes it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But either way, Devin should stay in the welterweight unification hunt. Yeah. Fuck Ryan Garcia. Yeah. Ryan Garcia isn't even a fucking champion, bro. And the fight that he had against you isn't even on the record books. All we remember now, Raleigh Romero.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That same, and it's funny. I mean, I know it's been said already countless times on the internet, the fact that it was a left hook that dropped him, that also dropped him when he fought Luke Campbell, and the straight left when he fought Gervonta. But if you watch Devin and Ryan, right, I think I want to say late in the third round, Devin actually hurts Ryan with a fucking left hook of all fucking things. And that's like the only time that he really had Ryan in any sort of trouble is when he clocked him. And even Ryan kind of made a face like, oh shit. And then he like pounded his gloves, right? And he got stunned. And oddly enough, well, maybe not surprisingly, it was another left hook that caught Ryan. So maybe that's his Achilles heel for whatever the fuck reason. He just can't seem to, his left hook is fucking dangerous, right? But they say you don't hook with a hooker. Maybe he's not really the real hooker. Maybe he's just, right. He throws his, it's great, but taking the punch there is another story. So you're okay with just moving away from the rematch. Fuck it. Let's just have, Ryan get his confidence back and Devin move into the title picture.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. If Ryan Garcia is saying no to the rematch, if I'm Devin, I'm not waiting. We're moving on. If Ryan gets his opportunity at my titles, because Devin holds what belt? Does he hold the belt at welterweight?
No, no,
No.
because this fight
He's
with the Ramirez was his first one,
all right. So
first
he's
fight.
still coming up. So you want to get a title, then you want to make yourself eligible to unify, and then Ryan could come fight for your title, hopefully one day. But get in fucking line because
Mm,
we're doing this guy no favors, no favors,
no,
bro.
no. He has an opportunity to basically leapfrog Ryan and get ahead of him in the welterweight division. So if the time comes where Ryan comes back around, at least Devin has some hardware and says, "Yeah, I'm the one that's gonna call the shots now, fool, because I got the straps, not you."
Oscar very well could be trying to save that too by rejecting the fight right now, trying to keep him as the A side. Like if that win over Devin's head means something, even though it's not on the record books. One of the stupidest things I ever heard him say is, "I won't. No one will ever forget the left hook." How douchey was that, dude? This guy had two guys cheat. Vargas and fucking Mosley both cheated on him. Why don't we ever say, hey Oscar, I don't remember I don't forget those right hands that Mosley landed all over your fucking face in that 12th round, right? Remember when
Mm,
they both were going for what did they say? They're both going to be legendary or something like that. But then
mm.
all of a sudden Mosley just is the one that keeps landing. It's not Oscar. Oscar got tired. Mosley was juice, baby. He was ready. Always remember fucking Ryan Garcia doing that into the fucking microphone.
Yeah,
Hella juice. Hella
yeah.
juice.
His voice sounding hella deep compared to like what it was afterwards. His voice is over here fucking cracking and shit, like he's going through puberty again afterwards. Uh, well, on the subject of the welterweight division, it's already been confirmed. Manny Pacquiao is coming back. He's going to take on Mario Barrios, and it's going to take place July. I believe it was July 12th here in Las Vegas. Um, the winner of that, is going to come out with a little bit more notoriety. Hopefully, he, for the sake of the sport, maybe Manny wins, and we're like, oh shit, we have a superstar back in here, and we have him holding a belt. Somehow the WBC has him ranked number 5 all of a sudden. But have you seen his training clips? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm looking too much into it, but it just doesn't look like Manny has it anymore. It doesn't look like he has the desire. It doesn't look like he has the he's always had one of his main characteristics is his movement. You see his calves, he's just fucking powerful. Dude can go and change directions on you so quickly and close the distance on you so quickly because he just had that strength in his legs. It doesn't look like it's there anymore. If you watch those clips of him throwing his punches, and he does the same stuff, right? He does the shadow boxing and everything, and he looks great. He probably is, as fast as anybody else, but not Manny fast, not Manny that we remember him. Whether or not this is going to be fast enough to still beat somebody like a much younger Mario Barrios, I don't know. We'll find that out. But have you seen those clips? He just doesn't. He looks. I don't know how much slower. He looks slower, noticeably slower, like dangerously slower. I don't know if I want to see this Manny in the ring again. Have you seen those clips?
Yes, I seen him, Miguel, and the only thing that I could say is Manny Pacquiao looks every bit of 47 years of age that he is. Not only is this man 3 years away from 50,
Hmm.
he's also been fighting professionally since he was a child, right? Isn't that the
Yeah.
story on Manny? So there's a lot of mileage on him. He's coming out of nowhere with this fight. This wasn't built up at all. And matter of fact, I don't even like that it's so fast. It really does seem like a payday.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, and you know what? I didn't see a line on this fight. That's the fight I missed. I didn't see a line on the
Hmm.
Pacquiao Barrios.
Let me see if I can find it. While you talk, let me
I
see if I
went
can
through.
find it.
I put in a bet this week,
Hmm.
and I did not see a line on Pacquiao Barrios. And July 12th, you said.
Yeah.
It just seems like a phone call was made and an offer was handed to him and he accepted and they got this thing going. I bet you Barrios has probably been training for this moment forever. He had Al Heyman going, "Hey, don't worry, we're trying. Where Manny's probably just been touring the world and doing his own thing, and then finally got this phone call about a fight. Um, it seems like an old man setup. It really does. Let me put it another way, you guys. How about this one? Because I heard this. So did you hear Manny Pacquiao son will be debuting, professional debut will be on the undercard of Barrios versus Pacquiao.
No, I didn't hear that. No.
Okay. Now, I want everyone to remember when Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. started fighting under his dad's cards. What did Chavez Sr. look like at this point?
Yeah, very washed up.
They're
Very washed up.
almost the same age. They almost have the same mileage. Chavez, another fighter who started at 15 years of age fighting professionally, right? So it seems very Chavez like in his old, like, damn, Manny, don't quit on the stool, Manny. Man, like, I'm fucking done. Fuck, what are we, round 8? Fucking done.
Yeah, I'm tired. I'm hungry. Let's get the fuck out of here, y'all.
Yeah, exactly. Did we get the over? Got the over.
Shit. I pulled it up on the BetMGM app. That's the app that I use. There aren't odds there. There are not for that one. It goes all the other ones. Keyshawn Davis and Edwin De Los Santos, yada yada, going to late June with Jake Paul and Chavez Jr., Serrano, and then going to Alvarez Crawford in September. However, when I just Googled it, I just went to Google. According to what this is showing here, there's a couple of them that are showing some. They're having Barrios as a favorite. They have them. DraftKings has Barrios as minus 500, while Manny is at plus 340. I'm
an old school guy. I know nothing's ran the same anymore, but if the casinos aren't offering it, I stay away from the internet guys, right? DraftKings is very credible though, right? DraftKings, they're not gonna take your money. Those guys got odds. They got odds for a reason. But Caesars doesn't have it. MGM doesn't have it. Those are the two big sports book in my opinion in the gambling world, and they don't have those odds. So there's a reason for that. Either one of their guys flew up to fucking Manny's training is like, bro, no, don't do it. They're fucking totally cashing this one in. Bro, did you see Freddie when he hit him with the left? I said, oh shit, Freddie caught him. He couldn't even move out of Freddie's punch. You know, Manny got mad. Manny's like, man, what the fuck? The camera's on, man. What are you hitting me with the left hook for?
Damn it, we do this behind closed doors, Freddie. Fuck.
Dude, Freddie was so fast, or is Manny that slow? Which one is it, man? I'm
gonna have to go with Manny being slow because hell, we know Freddie's got Parkinson's. You know, it's not like it's like
I didn't want to.
How long does it take for it to get there? You know what I'm saying? And it still lands.
I bet Freddie, when everyone left, Freddie said, "Pull up the camera. I gotta see that punch." That was me in my heyday. Got him. Oh, dude, I seen it, Miguel. I swear to God, when I seen it, I was like, "Oh shit, man, he just got hit by Freddie Roach." Manny hella smart. He smiles too. He knows, bro. He knows he wasn't supposed to be caught by that punch, dude. I'm not gonna make fun of him, but yeah, it's looking like old man Chavez in there, bro. Now his son is on the fucking undercard. When I heard that, it's the first thing I thought of. You know what I mean? 47. The fight's like in a few weeks. Like, what the fuck? Did you guys even give him enough time to prepare for mentally and physically, or did you just call him and go, "Hey, want to fight for a title? Give you $2 million." Oh yeah, fuck it. You know what? Why not? And put my son on the undercard.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Like, how much do you think he's gonna get? Because I was talking to my dad about it. He's like, he could get seriously hurt, yada yada, right? Talking about Manny, and then he's like, just they offering him, $5 million or something, right? I'm like, oh shit, actually, how much is he fucking gonna make? Because I haven't heard as far as like how much he's being offered, right, or how much he's gonna make. Have you heard anything about how much he might make for that one?
I'm gonna say they get a base salary of like $2 million guaranteed, bro, and everything else is probably incentives on their pay-per-view for these guys. But they got to give them some kind of millions. But there's no money in the pot right now for them to be like, oh, we'll give you $5 million, we'll give you $8 million guaranteed. That's a lie. It's guaranteed they'll give it to you if it's there. Guaranteed I'll pay you if you guys sell this bitch.
Right. It's like, hey guys, do you see that pot right there? You see how it's empty? It's because y'all didn't sell any fucking tickets, okay?
So I have to think that the price tag, the guaranteed money is very low nowadays for him. But if you guys do a Mike Tyson like, miracle on pay-per-view, hey, you'll walk away with 10 million.
I don't know if I saw this, but this fight's going to be a pay-per-view, right? It's going to be like a PBC type of pay-per-view. I don't think it's going to be on one of these like Amazon Prime type shits. Like I could have sworn it's going to be PBC pay-per-view.
Yes, it has to be. I believe it has to be with Manny. Manny's not a. You can't make no money.
Yeah.
And these guys make too much. So
what? July 19th. My bad. That's the date. July 19th.
Yeah. All right. Still very short. It just seems like the fight was announced, not too long ago, and we're already like freaking weeks away.
Yeah. What if we can guess right now, how many pay-per-view buys do you think this kind of fight will get? Mind you, I haven't taken a look at what other fights are going to be on the undercard or anything like that yet, but based on the drawing power of Manny Pacquiao, and the general fans might remember who Barrios was. He was on the undercard of was it one of the, I think it was Tyson and Jake Paul. So I think some fans aren't going to remember Barrios, but obviously people are going to tune in for Manny. What kind of pay-per-view numbers do you think this is going to do?
I think it will do good enough numbers that they will announce him, Mr. Turkey Ali Sheik. What the fuck, bro? Where's our numbers for Canelo, freaking Scully, and for this big ass thing that you put on in New York, Times Square card? Yeah. So I think Manny will do good enough numbers that PBC will put something out there. He did 250,000, something like that. Look, Manny is a legend with the Filipino Americans. Unfortunately, they haven't had a Manny Pacquiao or even anyone close. Donaire was close, but Donaire came at the same time as Manny. He didn't come after Manny, so there was no changing of the guard. Right? We didn't hand any flowers over. Matter of fact, Manny was like, "Fuck you, don't give him any fights. I'm keeping all the money in top rank."
Manny's still fighting, Nonito is.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah. Yes. So they don't have a replacement. So when all those memories, and me and you have them, Miguel, when Chavez used to fight, family came together. There was barbecuing. There was a party after the fight. If you want that Manny-like family unity again, here it is, right? Manny's coming back. You got one more time. They're going to fire up the grills or whatever they cook with. I don't know what the fuck they. Oh, my wife does.
The noodles.
Damn, I said,
How do you not know? How do you not
sleeping on the couch? You guys know I'm fucking talking out my ass, but family will be coming together, right, for Manny Pacquiao again. So you will see these pay-per-view sales go up, and I believe in Texas, Barrios will make a splash for this pay-per-view. I think the Mexicans will show up that know boxing in Texas, in California. The diehard Mexican Americans and Mexicans will be buying this fight.
All right, yeah, that seems pretty plausible. I'm sure they're gonna at least do some sort of farewell type of thing. It's like, all right, let's show up for Manny one more time the way he showed up for us as many times as he did. Yeah, that's true. I'm thinking around like the 300,000 mark. Like I think it'll reach at least that. I think 300K pay-per-view buys. I think that'll do. And of course, they haven't even announced. Oh, you know what? And then what you just said, right, about his son being on the undercard, right, and making his debut. I think people will tune in for that, right? Especially Filipino people. Like you best believe, like, oh shit, he has a son. He's gonna be, the son of a legend. Kind of the way that we all hoped Chavez Jr. would be, but and that ultimately never happened that way. But the way we had hoped. So maybe there's going to be that hope for him, right? For Manny. What's his son's name? I mean, it's not Junior, is it? It's not a Manny Pacquiao Jr. It's
Emmanuel. I think it is Emmanuel Pacquiao.
Oh, what? Really? All right.
I believe so. I believe he is a junior, dude. Yeah.
Damn. All right.
You can look it up, or we'll look it up later. But I think that is his son's name, the one that's fighting, at least.
Yeah, we'll look it up because I don't remember. I mean, he may very well be a junior. Damn, can you imagine that? A junior? Wow, shit. All right, well, let's get this shit crack-a-lacking. So I briefly mentioned his name earlier in passing one, Jake Paul, because he is going to be taking on Chavez Jr. in a month, I believe, the 22nd or 28th, whatever the date might be, in Anaheim, California. They're announcing a lot of fights on the undercard, right? Recently, they announced that Holly Holm will be making a comeback to boxing, and she'll be on the undercard as well. Of course, sort of the Ramirez is going to be on the co-main event, in the co-main event. And it was recently announced that there is yet another fight that's going to be on the undercard. Floyd Schofield will be making his comeback after pulling out of a fight against Shakur Stevenson back in February, I believe it was. Some sort of illness or food poisoning or whatever the hell it was that he was experiencing back then in Saudi Arabia. He's going to be making a comeback against a fighter coming off a loss in Tevin Farmer. So I guess Farmer is not quitting. He's not throwing in the towel, even though after his most recent loss to Cepeda, he sounded very defeated in the ring. He's like, man, I don't know how I'm going to keep doing this. I don't know how they keep, robbing these fights or stealing these fights from me. I don't know how many more of these I have in me. It sounded like he was just 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And it seems as though this is a great opportunity for Floyd Schofield to come back and take advantage of that and be like, all right, I'll take advantage of your doubt. Let's go ahead and have this fight. So we're going to get Floyd Schofield, still undefeated, coming up against Tevin Farmer on the Jake Paul and Chavez Jr. undercard. What do you make of that?
I'm not that overly excited for the matchup. Look, Schofield, he's got a little bit of interest still in the boxing world. He only fucked up one time pulling out of the Shakur fight. Mm-hmm. But now he's on thin ice, right? This one can nothing go wrong in this one, or people might write him off very early. Definitely don't pull out. Please don't get injured. Don't get cut. None of the above. It fucking sucks, but that's what happens when you have this mysterious pull out from your first big fight. Now, as far as the matchup, dude, stop with the Tevin Farmer. Fuck, man. I'm tired of seeing his eyes roll behind his head. I'm tired of seeing him lose. I'm tired of Kevin Farmer. He's not a legend. Can we stop acting like he's a legend? They're using him as a stepping stone, and the kid can barely adjust his eyes right now. You keep punching him in the head. I fuck what they say about, it has nothing to do with punching. I don't like to see it. I don't like to see it. And whenever he gets under pressure, it gets worse and worse. As he's getting older, it seems to have been getting worse, right? I'm just done with the Tevin Farmer show. So I'm not interested in that fight. I got to say, the interest big time has dropped even for the main event. Too many fighters are coming out saying Chavez is fucking a drug user, drug addict. Can he stay clean? Will he be in rehab? Right? We all know he was just in rehab. It's a bad look, Jake. I'm sorry we gave you this plan, Jake.
No, well, hey, we gave it to him for him to take advantage of a very vulnerable Chavez Jr. on Cinco de Mayo weekend, to just go ahead and drill that villain role as much as he can, and be like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm going to whoop your, son of a legend's ass on Cinco de Mayo weekend and just basically go balls to the wall on the villain role. So that's what I figured we were going to do that, right? I mean, he didn't take it entirely to Cinco de Mayo. Maybe he felt a little bit of pity. I don't know. But he most certainly did not pull any punches by taking advantage of a barely out of rehab Chavez Jr., who probably got the fucking facts while he was still in rehab or some shit.
I got to tell you, Miguel, I got to give a warning to Jake Paul. If he goes through with this, in his last 2 fights, he's taken a grandpa legend in Mike Tyson, and now you're taking a addicted legend's son, right? Like he's fucking playing with us a lot now. The first real boxer you see, Jake, is going to fuck you up. Bro, they're going to take all of what you've been doing to all these guys, right? These wounded animals that you're putting a show after. They're going to hand you your ass, dude. You better be a man. You better be a fucking man when you step in the ring with Gilberto Ramirez or Bivol or whoever. It's Canelo. Shit, wherever
if he'll ever get there.
Miguel, I think if keeps getting successful, I mean, fuck, he's fighting for a title, right? Like, we're almost there.
Did they say that? I think they did. The WBA did mention they were going to.
Yeah, I thought the WBA was recognizing this one.
Oh, I remember that. Something vaguely. I forgot if it's like official, but I do
Remember,
remember
hey,
reading
bro,
it.
remember that's why Gilberto's on the undercard. He's the
Mm,
regular champ or some shit like that.
mm,
It's all like lining up for Jake to get his shot at a real title. Be a man when that happens because you're using a lot of people to get to this point, right? And
mm.
and the boxing community, even though Chavez is kind of a spoiled brat, I think a lot of people are going to be upset on that night if Jake Paul's like beating the shit out of Chavez. You're going to see a lot of inside boxing guys go,
Sure.
you know what, man? This everyone knew this dude's on drugs, man. This guy was on drugs 2 weeks ago. Like, fuck this kid. Now I want to fight him.
Mhm.
Right? Be a man, Jake. But I'm warning you right now. I think it's going to be your ass.
There's gonna be people like, leave him alone. Like, no, Chavez getting fucking slaughtered. Because I mean, yeah, most likely it's like, hey, here's a little bit of a down payment on your purse. What do you think you spent it on?
Yeah.
We can figure out that real quickly. That
And
um,
you
uh,
see Sergio Martinez was like he's a good guy. They shouldn't be doing this to him. Like
mm,
it's not a good look, Jake. You know what I'm saying? And then you're gonna just piss people off. We seen Mike was limping before the fight. He almost fell down. He almost falls down in the walk-in. You son of a bitch. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I hope Gilberto gets them, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I firing warning shots now that I think if he goes through with the fight with Chavez and puts a beating on him like people think it's gonna happen, um, yeah, it's gonna be his ass when he finally gets in there with the real one. Keep winning and saying you want to be a champ, dude. You're gonna meet the real ones. Yep.
and you think adding this fight, this Schofield and Farmer fight, is just trying to get more interest in it, like because of how much interest they've already lost so far?
It's either that or Schofield already got shown the door from His Excellency, so they're kind of just jumping on the opportunity to get somewhat of a name on the
Mhm.
card, right? Look, I like all the things that he's doing with the women boxing, but we know women's boxing and professional boxing isn't the same as it is in MMA, right? It's not the same animal. So there's only so many women fighters he can put on a card and think that that's going to boost the pay-per-view sales. He needs fighters, male fighters too. Schofield is a prospect, undefeated, was just on a huge card where everyone kind of got to know who he was, even though he didn't go through with the fight. The boxing world now knows who Schofield is. Interest is there, right? We were interested. We want to see what is this kid about. My problem is the opponent Tevin Farmer is really someone you're picking up off the side of the road. Like this guy is done. He's
Mhm.
done. Like, can we stop it already? But we're not. We're gonna
You,
ban
you don't you
him
don't
up.
think Farmer like schools him or anything? I mean, Farmer put on a very tough fight against. Yeah, granted he lost against Cepeda, but I mean he did drop Cepeda in their first fight. Maybe he's got a little bit left. I mean, yes, it's gonna look a little odd, but he is still a pretty good boxer. I think fuck better than
How
Floyd
many how
Schofield.
many losses does Farmer have, bro? Let me look. Let me look at. It
Four.
didn't like. Oh, I thought it was 6.
Shit. Maybe because he's had a couple of close
Yeah.
decisions. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just I'm just tired of that. I'm just tired. In boxing, we always talk about these records, and really the guys that we allow to get these many losses under the big lights are legends. He's
Mhm.
under the big lights. We're talking about the highest money these fighters make are on the stage, and it might not be that high, like NBA and NFL type money, but this is the highest platform we have, right?
Sure.
Tevin Farmer doesn't belong on it anymore.
8 losses. I just
There you go.
oh damn it.
Yeah.
Uh, all right. Well, I guess we're
And
gonna have
it's this.
yeah.
Oh, you guys can't even see what I'm doing, but I'm doing the
Yeah, they
fucking
can see. Yeah.
Twitch.
Yeah.
No, they can't. When we talk
Mhm.
is the only time they show our faces. Did you know that?
Well, no, it switches back and forth. No, so like when
Yeah.
I'm talking, my face is up there, and then when you're
Yes.
talking, your face is up there. Yeah. So all you got to do is make some noise. Do you want to make a noise while you do that? So it'll. So, I don't know if you want to do that.
I'm not twitching, you guys.
Okay.
It's that I'm tired of. It really is. It's sad. It looks fucking sad.
All right. Well, on the subject of sad, we got a pay-per-view card. I mean, not pay-per-view card. Amazon Prime card this weekend that we can look forward to after a drought last week. Um, Caleb Plant making his return to the ring, taking on Jose Armando Resendez, and then as a co-main event, Jamal Charlo versus Thomas Lamana. Okay, so that's kind of something we have looking forward to, right? Supposedly, as long as Plant and Charlo win their respective fights, they will fight later on in the year against one another. Something that I'm looking forward to. I know there's a lot of beef between Plant and the Charlos. I don't remember, who did he slap. Was this the Charlo that he slapped, or did he slap the other Charlo? Was it the smaller one? I always forget who's the one that Caleb Plant like open hand strike in that fucking
I
parking
believe
garage.
it was the middleweight. No, I think it was
Yeah.
the heavier one. Yeah,
All right. So
yeah. It was
that's
that.
who we're going to be getting here.
Yep.
Caleb Plant taking on Jose Armando
And,
Resendez.
and Miguel, it
Uh,
really shouldn't matter when you slap a brother, right? And
that's it.
yeah,
But it's gonna be an extra special. Like if it's his brother, it's like, well, it wasn't me directly, but or maybe it is more. It shouldn't matter, but it's a little bit more. Like if he slaps me, well, fuck him. But he slapped my fucking brother. It's like, oh shit, it's a little bit extra. I don't know, edge there, a little bit more, something to light that fire, because Charlo, or this particular Charlo, has kind of been MIA for a while, right? So who the hell knows what kind of motivation he has here, what kind of
yeah.
discipline he has because of how long he's been out. But he's got Thomas Lamana, who, with a record of 39-5, he's the more experienced one of the two opponents I'm talking about, with 18 KOs. After his pretty nasty defeat to Laura, he's been on a streak. He's had like 7 straight fucking fights, 7 straight wins. So he's the one that's got a lot of momentum. And Jose Armando Resendez, 15-2 with 11 KOs. Not bad, not a bad record, but with 15 fights, seems like a little under experienced, lacking experience against somebody like Caleb Plant. We talked about this a few times before, but we're here. We're within a week away. What's this Saturday? So today's Monday. So under a week, we're gonna get this card. If I'm not mistaken, this is gonna be an Amazon Prime card, right? It's not gonna be no fucking pay-per-view. What do you think? This kind of double header for an Amazon Prime kind of feels like a boxing after dark kind of fight.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I can't call it a decent card because it's not, but it's a build-up card that everybody on a fight that everyone wants to see.
Mm.
Caleb Plant versus Charlo, whether it's the one he slapped or the one he didn't slap. We've been fiending for this matchup for a while. This was before they even had beef, right? Because both of them been champs for a minute, and they never fought each other. They've been around each other. They never fought. It's just the whole PBC thing's weird, but people have kind of wanted this fight. Caleb's market has never been higher. It really does seem like he is one of the faces of boxing. Caleb gets a lot of respect on the internet because of his honking of Ryan Garcia in the stands, the slap of Charlo, and it's not everything that he's done in the ring. Sometimes it's what he's done out of the ring that's made him people like him more. His car, right? His lowrider. He always posts things about that.
His
doing
shoes.
stuff like that.
That's like a big deal. His shoes.
Yes. Yeah. So he has done good for himself. I think he's a hot fighter right now that people want to see. Charlo, we want to end in this story. I kind of hope both of them just get a win, and let's move on to your guys' matchup. We all know they couldn't go straight to the fight because Charlo's been out for 2.5 fucking years, what seems like 5. This is a warm-up fight for Charlo. This is basically a sparring match for Caleb. This is a stay warm. No, and it's actually a stay warm fight for Caleb. This is kind of like a tester for Charlo to see where he's at, right? Get his feet wet again, to see what he's gonna do. I would have Lamana a higher underdog, but the Lara knockout stays heavy in my head. And I know he's had 7 victories since, or had a streak. They've never, in my opinion, lived up to the opponent that Lara was in front of him that night. And when he got matched up with one of the best in the world, it was a fucking wipeout, right? The thing was scary. It was a scary knockout.
Oh, yeah, it sure was.
Yeah. So that's the last thing Charlo's going to lose is his power. So that's why I can't bet LaManna a bet on him
Mhm.
or think he's going to pull his fight out because his best boxing is still going to get him. He's still going to be in the danger of getting hit with one of the most powerful punchers in that division. He was back then. I don't know if he is today, but he's still a hard hitter. He might not be the hardest in the division, but he's still a hard hitter. LaManna he was out from Lara, who's not a hard hitter. I'll watch, but I got Charlo on a victory, a comeback victory. Yeah.
So, of the two, which one do you think is more likely to get the upset? I mean,
Nobody.
if
Nobody. This is a total
neither,
wash. Nah. This is a
really,
total wash.
I mean, I don't think Jose Armando Resendez has a chance against Plant, but no, not LaManna. You don't think like I don't know the fact that Charlo has been away for such a long time. Granted, the power is usually the last thing that leaves a fighter, but I'm thinking his timing's going to be off. It is going to be ring rust. I'm not even sure if he's willing to throw heavy hands anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sure if that's even something that he has a confidence in as of right now. Mind you, all these fights are going to be taking place at super middleweight, right? I don't think
LaManna's
Charlo's
not
the
a super middleweight.
well, neither is Charlo. Charlo was a middleweight. He hasn't yet to fight. I don't know if his last
But
fight.
LaManna wasn't even a
No,
middleweight.
I know that's true. Yeah, it wasn't even
And
a
have you
middleweight.
ever seen him at super welterweight? He
No,
was
I
like
don't remember
he was like a poor man's Fundura, bro.
that.
He's like Toothpick Kid.
Shit.
Yeah. No, he really is, bro. He's one of those very tall, lanky guys. No
Hmm.
muscle, no none. That's that's why I don't have him. I don't have him going too far in this one. It really seems like he's being served up to be a showcase for him. And I hear what you're saying. That's why I said his best boxing
Hmm.
is still going to leave him in the line of fire. Right? He could be it could be round 7. He's like, man, this has been easy. It's 7-0. Bam! That one shot lands. Now he's on fucking Queer Street. Fight's over. And believe me, the PBC ref will call this fight over. That's
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
we're moving on to the Caleb Plant show, right? So
Yeah.
I don't have LaManna winning. Now I hear you, and I was thinking about it, Miguel, but he's just too tall. He fights high. Charlo's bigger than him,
Hmm.
more muscle. A punch is gonna land. I don't see LaManna doing freaking masterful defense and staying out of the way for 10 rounds or however minute rounds they're going. I don't know if it's 12 or 10, but I see at a point Charlo lands. He's the bigger dude. I think he gets him out of there. I have it a wash. Both fights, both end in knockout. Hopefully sets up a big pay-per-view fight for Caleb Plant and Charlo in future.
Yeah. Oh, were you doing the Devin Farmer thing now? Well, come on now. What the fuck is that?
Damn it. What a jerk.
It just had to come back. I saw that. It had to come back. I'm telling you, that's what happens when you talk so much shit. You should know that. No.
That's hella funny. I did Twitch, dude. Damn it. I did it.
Gosh, I don't want to see that anymore, Andrew. No, gotta throw in the towel already. Fuck no. But we got some boxing this weekend, right? So definitely looking forward and seeing how both Caleb Plant and in particular Jamal Charlo look coming into this fight, because it's been a long time coming. Like you said, we've been fiending for this kind of fight. So hopefully they each get their victory, and the fight doesn't take place in the too distant future. Hopefully, let's say we're talking about May. Hopefully, maybe by the end of summer or closer to like maybe early September or something like that, we can get these guys back in the ring, give them enough time to rest, and
it was Jamal. It was Jamal.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Right on. All right. Okay, well that makes things a little more of an incentive for Jamal to go in there and just fuck him up the floor with LaManna and get at the Caleb Plant. Although I suspect Caleb will actually win that fight anyway. But regardless, it's a fight that PBC probably should have been already made, but for whatever one reason or another, the fight didn't take place, and it doesn't take place until this Saturday. So I told Andrew this before. I did submit an application for credentials. I didn't get approved. That's okay. I was hoping to go to some of these media workouts or press conferences or something like that to get some sort of footage for you guys. Unfortunately, that isn't going to be the case. But like I said, that's all right. If there is any sort of media workout that maybe is open to the general public, which oftentimes does happen, I'm gonna see if I can try to make it. I'll take a couple of hours off of work, head down to Mandalay Bay. I believe it's going to be the Michelob Ultra Arena. They're probably going to have the weigh-ins there, et cetera, et cetera. I thought about going, but they didn't approve me, no biggie. But if there are any sort of events that are open to the general public and I can go, you best believe I'm going to go down there and get some sort of footage for you guys. So stay tuned. Hopefully we will get some sort of footage, anything, either the grand arrivals or whatever the hell they do, if they do anything like that for this weekend. But that being
Miguel,
said, yes, sir.
Caleb Plant, doesn't he train in Las Vegas?
Yeah, he lives here.
Yeah, you should probably just straight go to him.
Oh, just hit him up to be like, hey, dude.
No, go to his gym, start recording him there.
Oh, I see.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Get in that way, and maybe he, I would start there then. Start at ground zero, dude.
Yeah, probably. I think City Boxing, I believe, is the gym where he's been at. I remember seeing a banner of him up there. I don't know if that's where he still is or not, but yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yep.
All right. Well, that pretty much wraps it up because, again, there wasn't that much news. There was some news, and we try to stretch it out for you guys because there are times where I kind of like the fact that there are few news, pieces of news, of boxing news, because it kind of allows us to really dissect it. When there's so much news, we kind of have to limit how much time we have to each topic. And sometimes I don't like that. Sometimes I like the fact that we can kind of get in the nitty gritty and talk about all the stuff because I like doing that when it comes to topics. I like just getting to all the details, anything that comes to mind, of course. But that
I got something. I got
go
something. I don't want to stay on it long, but did you see we got a flyer that Floyd Mayweather is doing an auction?
Oh, you got a flyer? You got a flyer?
Well, it
like
was
on your windshield or what the fuck?
No, it was on the internet, fool.
Oh shit! All right.
Yeah, and so belt, watches, autograph stuff. I was like, what the fuck? I don't know if it's real. But listen, Stephen A. Smith brought it out on his show not too long ago.
Right. Yeah, I did hear about that.
We heard the whole rumors, the Dubai incident not too long ago. They didn't let him go home because of money issues, whatever it was. Now there's supposedly some shit being sold online. Crazy.
Damn.
It's fucking sad. $700 million, bro. That's fuck. It's worse. It's worse than anything we've ever seen. I know Tyson and them made money, but did they really make Floyd money? Floyd did it for so many years. Look at all the things he was king of, right? And king by a lot. He's not king by a few 100,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking king by 5-point-something million buys.
And still relatively recent with his fights going over to Japan and those exhibitions over there. You can imagine how much money he got paid for that shit. And still, oh man.
And then his ego is fucking through the roof, dude. Like, bro, you would rather sell your shit and it be the blunt of all jokes of all athletes going broke than to come back and sell your O? Do you know how many of his fans would go, who gives a fuck? He's 47. Who cares that he got beat tonight? And you would make $500 million. Easy. I swear to God, if he came back Turkey, he'd probably pay him that, dude.
Damn. Yeah, I guess he much rather sell all his fucking
right
and his cars and come back and pass the torch, bro.
Yes.
Give it to Devin. I don't give a fuck. Give it to Boots. Something. Shit.
Do a 2-fight deal and try to get 750. Make all your money back in 2 fights off these Saudi guys. Right?
Didn't we talk about this when we still had Fight Net that we're gonna have Manny and Floyd rematch? We're gonna have that shit. It may not be an exhibition. It may be legitimate on their fucking records. It might be the only way that Manny gets a rematch against Floyd at 40 some odd 6 years old. That might be something we're happening. Huh?
Remember we had it on the news about his the Floyd Mayweather gym going out of business. Yeah. They had his people saying money team, the broke team or some shit. Like, it's like there's hell.
Weren't they selling stuff? Like selling like machines and stuff?
Yes.
Oh, Floyd, how the mighty have fallen. And my dad tells me that shit all the time. He's like, dude, bigger empires have fallen. It's like, yeah, that's very true, Dad. Bigger have fucking fallen, so it should not come. I mean, it sucks. but it shouldn't come as a surprise.
And the people that spend $8 million in one shopping spree usually make $18 million by the next day, right? Their money flow is endless, is what I'm trying to say. It's not check by check. It's by the hour.
Yeah,
By
it's
the
making money while they sleep.
That's
Floyd
right.
doesn't do that shit. No, but it's not like his TB, the best ever hats are flying off the shelves while he's fucking napping. That's not how. No one gives two flying fucks about those T-shirts.
The Manhattan building he bought turned out to be a lie. Now they're saying that was all a lie. His name's not on the final agreement. So yeah, no, it's not looking good for Floyd. And the other day, looks like you can buy a WBC belt right now for Floyd Mayweather Jr.
At the auction on eBay.
Hey, you know how mad he probably is that Jose and wasn't making those belts when Floyd was winning all of them. You know how many WBC belts he'd have, bro, if he was still making them back in the day. He'd been like, that was the fucking Culiacan belt. That's the African belt. That's the 4th of July belt. He'd probably make a belt for Floyd on every fight that he did, dude.
When he fought Andre Berto, I was like, this is the Haitian belt. Yeah. Just anything, just any fucking random shit. Like, all right, I got an extra belt I can sell. Let's go to the pawn shop, Holmes. Good Lord. Oh, Floyd. Well, we'll get back to that because I'm sure it's going to surface at some point in the near future of all his stuff that is being sold. I wouldn't be surprised if I see some of my homies like, look at this towel. Look at this bath towel. He got his initials engraved on it or embroidered.
Got it for $20.
Yeah. Got it on eBay, Holmes. It's authentic. Look, it's got his sweat. All right. Well, that wraps it up. I hope you've enjoyed this Memorial Day weekend episode of Mad Boxing. We will be back next week, of course, definitely talking about the results, of course, of Caleb Plant and Jose Armando Ramirez and Resendez, and then Jamal Charlo and Thomas Lamano. We're definitely going to talk about that and any other news that pops up with between now and then. So, for my co-host, Andrew, don't get it twisted, Lapache. This has been Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of your work week, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.